Emma King, have we saved the best hike in Patagonia till the end?
100%. It was amazing.
Yeah, different gravy. Again, we talk about hike to view ratio, and this is one of the best we've ever done. Cerro Llao Llao. Hopefully that's how you pronounce it. It's a little bit further out, so if you're staying in San Carlo di Bariloche, it's about 40-minute taxi.
About 40 minutes.
Yeah, that was less than ideal. However, the walk itself took us about 45 minutes, gentle undulating through a little bit of the old grassland, and then probably, 10, 15 minutes, a bit more uphill, a little bit more on the old cardio, but nothing like the other day.
No, not even a scratch on the other day, really. Very gentle hike, but the views, for such a short, not a steep hike, the views were amazing.
Yeah, definitely. So hike number 1, we did a Refugio Frey, which was a brutal hike, but spectacular views over like the glaciers and the mountains. Day number 2 did Refugio Otto, which was a moderate hike and spectacular views, and today was super easy and just absolutely unbelievable scenery. I think that last little bit was I'd say 15 minutes to the top, and there was 4 different viewpoints. It's one of those, every time you see a nice viewpoint, you're like, oh, I'll stop here, get a photo. So me and then we're like, stop, start, take our word for it. Sack off all the middle viewpoints, just get to the top one. Do you know what I mean? The higher up they are, the more beauty you have in the old distance. Talk to me about the view at the top end. What were you saying? Postcard, picture perfect, looking up the channel.
Yeah, I actually don't think I've ever seen a view like it. It generally looked like a postcard. The clouds was kind of starting to come in, which actually weirdly made it prettier. Because you had almost clouds on one side, sun on one side, then you've got a bit of snow, sun, lake, greenery. Amazing.
Yeah, the things you love to see. At the top, you've got all rockery, and then you've got obviously the backdrop of the trees. And then, as Em said, one side we had the clouds and the rain. As we were driving here, it was raining. We're thinking, oh no, we've got a 40-minute taxi and paid X amount, and we're just going to sit in the rain and have a coffee somewhere. But when we got to the top, one side, the mountains, the backdrop was obviously a little bit rainy, a little bit misty, a little bit mysterious. And then as you moved through the channels in the different mountains, the middle one, as Em said, was very much like a postcard picture perfect. There wasn't as much wind there, so the water looked super still, and obviously very nice. And as you move around to the right hand side, you then had the deep blues. We're getting attacked by Lord of the Bloody Flies over here, the super deep blues, and then the sun kept peeking between the old clouds for just the things you love to see. Some good JPEGs. Rating out of 10, how does it compare to the other day for you? Would you do your Refugio Frey again, or would you just like to do this?
No, I'd do this one back to back. The first one, I think it didn't help that I severely burnt my arms. I had to wear a winter long sleeve top in 40-degree heat. Like
a Gymshark night pro vent top, Emma, yeah. What you'd wear when it's minus temperatures. She got it for in the snow, but
yeah, so I had to wear that because I'd really badly burnt my arms, which wasn't ideal. But it was a very hot hike. It was just a bit repetitive, whereas today it was you'd turn a corner and there'd be a different view, and
different views for different needs. The first time in a long time, actually no, not a long time, I was in Guatemala when we did the volcano hike, but that I've had to don the North Face. Em left her North Face at home, not a seasoned mountaineer. Mistake when we set off? You're a bit chilly.
It was, to be fair, it's always the way. I always think once you get walking, you warm up.
Yeah. If there was one critique I can give of the hike, and I was saying it on the hikes the other days, you want the best view, you want the best viewpoint, but it does actually, I'll put it to you, does it taste sweeter when you've earned it? So if you've done a really tough hike and you get to the top, you see that view at Refugio Frey, and you've got the glaciers, the mountains, the snow, is it better knowing that you've battled up for 3.5 hours?
I'm always 50-50 on that one. Was it worth sweating in that long sleeve top with the sun baking down on me? It was a good view, but 50-50.
You take this one all day then?
Yeah.
Okay, fair. I know what I'm saying though, sometimes it's nice to have that, but I also think when it is a harder hike, generally you have less people, that sense of achievement, but yeah, that one the other day, especially if you're partial to burning, exhibit A and definitely exhibit B over here, it was just in the sun the whole time. This was shaded the whole way, so if you do want to stay out of the old sun, would highly recommend that. How long did it take us? 45 minutes up, 45 minutes down. We were just ambling pretty slow.
Yeah.
The other thing as well, like we went up at like 10:30, and it was fairly quiet when we were on our way down at like 12. After getting some absolute top draw little photos, it was rammed, and it's like a single track path. So when people are coming up or you're going down, like you have to kind of wait. So it's a lot of stop starts. I would advise getting here early, and we just come to a little place, Llao Café del Bosque. Is that what you say?
Where the trail technically starts, if you're trying to find it on all trails. Weirdly, it actually starts up the road, but on all trails it tells you to start here, and that's where you can find. Well, I guess maybe that's just because it's where the car park is, but that's where you can find them. Very good coffee. Yeah,
love that, and that is from the Coffee Connoisseur. One thing to note on the parking, you have to pay here, don't you? There's like a little, there's a little like code, but everywhere up the road, people just parked on the road, and there's also armed police, which again, we're always just shocked by this, like being from the UK, that we never really see anyone with guns. Like South America, a lot of other places we've been to, it's like everyone's just rocking guns and stuff. So yeah, your car will be safe because they'll be gunned down. But actually, the other thing I was going to mention as well, we no drone photos or videos today. Too much wind. It was called off by the safety advisor, Emma King.
It was. I almost lost my hat.
Oh, yeah. To be fair, getting some photos of them just there, snapping away, throwing a few shapes in the old wind, and the hat nearly went. And I tell you what, where did you lose your other one?
Off a catamaran.
Oh, in Panama. Yeah, we didn't have a good luck on that. To be fair, you lost your hat in the wind. I jumped off after a few beers, and as I was jumping, I tried to throw my sunglasses back on, and the sunglasses just went vum. Straight into the sea, never to be seen again. So no drone videos today. To be fair, I'm a little bit more loose with it. I was like, oh, no, it's not that windy. And then the sensible, level-headed, smart one was like, it's too much.
I just know your love relationship with the drone. You'd be devastated.
What would happen if the drone had gone off the cliff? What would I be like this afternoon?
Miserable. I don't think I would have heard a word from you. You'd keep your head down, storm back.
Walked the whole way back to San Carlo di Bariloche.
Yeah.
Again, we've mispronounced it every day. We're going to go later today, get another little steak in the bones at Alto Fuego, because that was sensational. Best meal you've had in Argentina thus far?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of things are topping off. Best hike, best steak, but yeah, that steak. And I never normally get ribeye either, so that's saying.
See, I'm always on the ribeye because I think you get more for the money, but also like I just feel as if that fat just gives it a little bit more juice in there. So you're convert. What you gonna order later? She'll get a fillet steak now.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a fillet.
Oh, you're not.
Yeah, but it's and
what with? That is the question. Are you gonna go more meats or more of the like little on plates?
Tempted to get a chorizo, but I think the chorizo is it's quite strong.
Yeah.
To have a whole one to yourself.
Yeah, I'm not an absolute wetbag. I'm getting a whole black pudding. The king will be like, do you want to share a chorizo? And then she'll get a fillet steak, and then she'll sit there going, I'm so full, which is good for me because it means double steak, baby. But yeah, banger day overall. Rating on Patagonia. How does it compare to like other hikes we've done, like Andorra, or like what you've seen of like Europe, or like even like the hikes in like Guatemala or like Nepal? How would you compare and rate it? Overall, not necessarily just today.
I mean, just thinking on the spot now, like I don't think I've ever had like such a variety of.
Sorry to interrupt you. That is an absolute joke. I'm usually on the monsters, but actually I'm going to have to cut back on those. That is different gravy. Sorry, but back to you. I'll just be sipping on this over here. Don't worry about me.
Almost finished mine. Yeah, sorry, just thinking off the top of my head that like I don't think we've ever been anywhere that like with the mountains, snow, like I said, it was 40 degrees. I'm pretty sure the other day. Such a variety, basically. Yeah. And so scenic.
Yeah, I agree. I think like when you're actually doing like a really tough hike, the one we did a few days ago, like you don't want it like super, super hot. But in the same instance, when it is that hot, it means you have absolutely like gorgeous backdrop, gorgeous photos, like the glaciers, the mountains, the alpine lakes, everything in between. Rating out of 10, finish us off.
10 out of 10, nothing to fault.
And actually, one more question. If you had to come back, obviously we've not been to Buenos Aires yet, we'll be talking about that tomorrow, but if you could only do Mendoza or Patagonia, which one would you do? It's got to be the wine.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be the wine.
There you
I
go.
was going to say it, but it was going to come out too quickly, and then, but now it's got to be Mendoza.
Yeah, both straight 10 out of 10. If you enjoy a little Vino Blanco, get yourself over to Mendoza. If you enjoy some hiking, getting up in the old hills, get yourself over to San Carlos, the Bariloche and Patagonia. Straight 10 out of 10. Question in the comments, hit the subscribe button. I'll see you tomorrow, baby. And remember, the chef is always cooking, yeah, baby.